Today's disappointing Chinese trade figures is the latest set of worrying data to come out of the Asian superpower, increasing pressure on China's policymakers to roll out more stimulus to support and stabilise the world's second largest economy. As China prepares for a once-in-a-decade leadership transition next month, the problems are mounting: slowing economic growth, weaker demand, signs of rising inflation, and destabilising social problems. China's trade surplus widened in August to $26.7 billion on falling exports, from $25.1 billion in July. China's imports unexpectedly fell 2.6% in August from a year earlier, confounding expectations of a 3.5% rise, and exports came in below forecasts at 2.7%. Data released over the weekend also revealed industrial output growth had hit its weakest annual pace in more than 3 years. As China's two biggest exporting customers are debt-ridden Europe and the US, there's little policymakers can do to stimulate weaker demand abroad, meaning Chinese policymakers face an uphill battle. A separate data release also showed inflation accelerated for the first time in 5 months, back up to 2%, the main driver being the price of food. Economists predict Chinese inflation to pick up in the coming months amid the surge in global food prices caused by drought conditions in the US. Analysts believe Chinese policymakers could be weighing up the potential cost of ramping up stimulus efforts, as they fear it could result in a similar scenario following the 2008 global financial crisis, when overly aggressive stimulus efforts sparked a spending and lending binge, inflating a property price bubble and saddling local governments and banks with bad debt. Chief Greater China economist Lu Ting is amongst those that believe while aggressive stimulus might not be on the cards, inflation pressure shouldn't prevent policymakers from loosening further should the economy continue to weaken. Putting together the economic fundamentals and timing of major political events, there will be a second round of policy easing, including cuts to banks' reserve requirements and some fiscal stimulus. The government now hopes to spur growth through investment and is also addressing the need to upgrade infrastructure, having announced the approval of a wide range of infrastructure projects last week, worth more than $150 billion. HSBC economist Ma Xingping said the effects of infrastructure spending could show up in a fixed income asset investment figures in coming months. Stabilising investments is still the key to stabilising growth, and the government is heading in the right direction. That's all for today's Press Review. A busy couple of days lie ahead as now the ECB has outlined its plan to try and save the euro. Investors shift their focus to the upcoming Dutch elections, German constitutional hearing, and of course mounting expectations that the Federal Reserve will launch further stimulus measures at its 2-day policy meeting this week. We'll be bringing you all the latest coverage on these events and much more throughout the week, so do stay tuned to Dukas Copy TV. For the moment though, goodbye.